What's going on, guys? One of the questions that I get asked pretty frequently is how do you determine the neck angle for a arch top or carve top or flat top that you don't want to be flat, you want a little bit of an angle. Sometimes when you've got a slight neck angle, the strings break better over the bridge, especially with Bigsby's and Tellys. So I've got a special process that I use for my whiskey barrel guitars and my setups when I'm routing, where I put a little wedge under and just get a little slight break. You get a little bit better action going across. Today we're going to set that up for my double neck telly that you've seen on Instagram. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you can see all of my sort of sneak previews. This is a quilted top that we're putting two necks on. We're going to do bolt-ons, but we need to do a neck angle so we can get these special bridges under. I'm not using standard telly bridges. We're going to use a shallow roller bridge that we're going to put some Graphtec saddles on. And I've got a 12-string bridge here. So we need to modify this so that it fits. This is a little bit of a geometry question. If you guys were good at math, you have a length, a height, and a run, and you can determine the angle that way. I think there's even a couple calculators online. Another easy way is to get your plane. This is 25.5. I've got a digital angle finder here, and you can place this on, hit zero, zero it out, throw the bridge underneath on a flat plane, which I've already done, and I know it's about 1 if I'm going perfectly flat. The trick though is if you've got a bridge and a stop tailpiece, you need that bridge slightly above that tailpiece so that you get the right string breakage on the back side here. You don't want it above, so I've got to account for the height of this versus the bridge. So this is about 1 degree when I play with this on a flat surface, but since I want a little bit more, I'm going to double that to 2 because this is a big bridge, and once I get this set down on the bottom, I'm going to pick it up. Players usually have a preference if they want the bridge close or high. Some of the older Les Pauls you can see are like 4 degrees, 3 to 4 degrees. And then if you've got a flat top, you'll see anything from sort of 1 to 2, usually closer to 1. But it really depends on what the player wants and what that feel is as you're playing. So I always use wedges. And so I've got some basswood wedges that I found that are relatively equal. I've got 2 stacked on, and then if I needed a little bit more height, I could wedge it from the bottom here, and this is set up exactly at 2.2. This one's at 2.2 as well. Let's see, 0, 2.2. We are all set. With the wedges, I'm going to make sure that I'm setting these both up the same. So I'm taking the wedges from the edge of the neck pocket, and I'll do that when I do it on the second neck as well. These are actually Warmoth necks. These are Strat necks, not Tellys. So we got sort of a weird mix, but I was not going to do a compound radius with stainless steel frets. That is above my pay grade for the tools that I've got set up, and it was easier to get Warmoth to do that for me. So we're going to line these up, get my template, and we're going to plop this down. I want to make sure nothing is moving. I've got a center line drawn here for each neck. I double checked the distance here, so I've got it all set up. I'm going to get the necks in, and then I'm going to do the pickup routes. I want to make sure everything's spaced properly. I do not want to screw that up. So we're looking pretty good. What we're going to do is we're going to clamp this down from here and from here, and we should be good. And on the back side here, I'm going to just put a little bit of a wedge so I can clamp down and it's not going to move. You take the two wedges, put them this way, they are perfectly straight, and you can run up the height. This is actually going to need a couple. Good clamp. So we are not moving, we're perfectly straight. Got my wedges. We'll get the router. So from the top part of the neck, that's where I'm going to measure to 5/8, maybe slightly above, so I've got a little bit room to play with if I need to. And that's where we'll do our depth. That way the bottom of the neck pocket is up higher than the top of the neck pocket. That way I get that angle going up like that. So my favorite router has a depth stop. We'll take this to the edge. We'll drop it down. We zero it out. And then we'll back off to 5/8, a little bit less. And we'll play, see what we can get to here. Alright, now that we're covered in sawdust, we'll double check this measurement. I am just slightly above the edge of the fretboard, which is what I wanted. We'll take the jig off. Leave these exactly how they're set. $25.5, and we've got about, oh, I don't know, about 3/8 worth of play. I'm not going to take it down that far. I've got about 1/8 that I'm going to lower. I can see that on the pocket. I could take this down by 1/8 and I won't have any issues. This is where you take it down slowly and see what the heck you're doing. So I'll pop that out, take it down another 1/8. Alright, so we lowered it maybe slightly more than 1/8, and we are at the perfect height now. The neck fits in perfectly. I've got my 25-inch scale here, and I've got about a little bit more than 1/4 inch to play with on the bridge, which is exactly what I was looking for. That means I'll probably take this up maybe 1/8 off the body, and I'll get pretty much perfect playability. Not too much, not too little, but that is how you set up your guitar for a neck angle. Remember, Les Paul carved tops are about 3 to 4, and then flat tops are about 1 to 2, maybe slightly more to 1. I went with 2 here because this was an extra tall bridge, but a little bit of playing, a little bit of back and forth, and you can get this done right. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.